because her dad had just general knowledge about India, but not a lot. So he went to the bookstore and he got some books on India.
弹贝斯、弹吉他，然后在观众席就老看着我，就看出来了，就给他。
And she was pretty tall. I'm like, oh, you don't find too many Chinese girls that play basketball, so we had a lot of things in common. She liked hip hop, and
There is its culture shock. Some of the things I say, and I probably, different sort of words.
I think she used me as an excuse to escape from home.
As many of you guys requested, I finally make this video. Hey guys, this is Aiden. Welcome back to the channel. So this video is about interview foreign men. What's it like married to a Chinese wife? And what are some difficulties married to a Chinese wife and how they met? So I guess let's go then. Thank you so much, Bruce. Can you do a little self-introduction?
My name is Bruce Morton. I'm from India. I've been living in China since '96.
Can you do a self-introduction in Chinese?
还有一个中文名字是叫马俊杰。我来了中国是1996年，是差不多28年嘛。现在，我结婚了，我的妻子是四川的，我有一个儿子，还有一个女儿。他们也去过印度，他们也习惯印度的。我很喜欢中国菜，我喜欢吃辣的中国菜。
What's it feel like to marry a Chinese wife?
Oh, it's awesome actually. There's a lot of things that we disagree upon, but it's fun, it's getting to know her culture, for her to get to know my culture, and then try to find a balance in between.
So when you guys first started dating, was it like very difficult for you?
Well, I've been here for quite some time since I started dating my wife, so yeah, I'd already had experience living in China, so it was not that bad. But I did remember telling her when we decided to get married, I told her that on two conditions I will meet her parents. And both were like, one was that to tell her parents that I was from India, and the second that I'm dark, not light colored, not white or anything like that. I try to make that clear. And on those two conditions only I'll meet your parents. And she did tell her parents about it. And it was funny because her dad had just general knowledge about India, but not a lot. So he went to the bookstore and he got some books on India, read up on it. So when I met him, we had a wonderful conversation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were they like supportive at the beginning?
Fortunately, my in-laws are teachers, and so they do have a very good general knowledge about India. I told them that I would like to marry your daughter, and he said, well, you both live in Guangdong, and you're both going to live your life together. So, and he read up on Indian culture, so he said, I wouldn't give you anything, and I don't want anything from you. And I was wondering why he said that, because according to the Indian culture, there's a dowry that usually the women give the men. And in India, but in China it's the opposite. Yeah. The men give the women. So that's why he said that. He said, I'm not going to give you anything and I don't want anything from you. So it was a very easy talk. My fiancée at that time, my girlfriend, she looked at me and she said, oh, my dad is really nice to you. He's talking very nicely to you.
It is, surprisingly.
Yeah.
It's not like what happened in the drama. It's like, no, you have to do this.
Yeah, no, he had nothing like that. I also heard when I had been to Sichuan, to Zhujiago, long time ago, I think that was in 2000 and I don't remember, 2004 or 2000, I don't remember the exact date. But there's a grass, it's very like kind of bitterish grass that the Sichuan people eat. And they said when you go to the person's house, they'll make you eat that grass. And if you can't eat that grass, you can't marry their daughter. And I was like, but my father-in-law didn't do anything like that.
I heard like if you marry to women from the northeast, you have to drink a lot.
Yeah, I think so. The first time I met my in-laws and my wife's entire family, they did not know that I drink alcohol. So they didn't force me to drink anything. But then next, after I got married and everything happened and I went the second time to meet them, I used to drink baijiu with them and they said, oh, we never knew you drink. So that was nice. Otherwise, they would have got me drunk.
Can you say some Sichuan 话?
要的。
要的。
我叫耶果，来自乌克兰，在中国已经待了15年。我现在的工作是做主持人，做媒体，就是纪录片这样子。
什么类型的纪录片？
这个纪录片主要是关于中国的文化、非物质文化遗产， 所以我们去不同的地方采访当地的一些能人、一些传承人什么的。
想听听你的爱情故事。
爱情故事，我在中国这里结婚，我娶的是中国姑娘。其实我真没想到，我以为可能会娶一个外国的，但是最后这缘分就是这么狠，就去了中国姑娘。她是江苏徐州人，我们俩都是信教，我们信基督教。我是在教会认识她的，她是做演员的。那个时候我们要演一个话剧。他是我在群里，我要了那个台本，要了剧本，他第一个人给我的，加上他就聊起来了，但是也没有见面。后来是我有一个小型的演出，也是我们教会组织的，我弹贝斯，弹吉他，然后在观众席就老看着我，就看出来了，就给他。是他还以为我是搭讪呢，我没有搭讪，认出来了。就一聊就在一起了，
所以是你追了他？
那我肯定得追，我追了好几个月呢。最后去了徐州，认识了他的外甥，当时还比较小，现在是大高个儿，比我高。我把他带到北京来陪他玩什么的，他就看我照顾孩子照顾得好，就可能喜欢上了呗。
My name is Alex, and I come from Toronto, Canada. Been in Zhongshan for the last 22 years.
22 years in China.
Yes, longer than you, Eric. You're not even 22 yet, are you?
First questions. What made you want to come to China?
To be honest, I just wanted to get away from where I was and see and experience something completely new. So I took the globe and I went from Toronto. I found the other end of it, and it happened to be China. So I decided on China.
It must be some opportunities like approach you to make you move to China or Zhongshan. What exactly like the story behind it?
Good question, actually. A buddy of mine, he went to Japan. And he was gone for like 2 years. And when he came back, I saw him after 2 years. I said, hey, what the hell, man? Where have you been? He goes, I've been in Japan. I said, for 2 years? He goes, bro, I found something in Japan that I can't find here. And I don't think I'm coming back. And that's what caught me. I said, you know what? There's so many things out there that I haven't experienced and seen yet. And there could be something out there that's better suited for me, for my personality, for my, So I decided to try something new. And originally it was for 6 months, and now it's 22 years. So there you go.
Cool. Are you married to a Chinese person or a foreigner?
I am married to a Chinese girl that I met here 14, 15 years ago. We've been married for 14 years now. We have a daughter that's 13 years old. So yes, very happily married, yes.
How do you guys met?
She works in the government, and she was my student. The government had a cultural exchange and they needed an English teacher. The classes were over. I found out that my wife played basketball, and she was pretty tall. I'm like, oh, you don't find too many Chinese girls that play basketball. So we had a lot of things in common. She liked hip hop, and she liked spicy food. So I thought, hey, let's try it. And a few months later, we decided this is it. And a year later, we got married. Yeah.
What's it like married to a Chinese wife?
I think it depends on the wife, but if you're talking about my wife, it's fantastic. I don't know many foreigners that can say that, but truly, truly happily married, because my wife is kind of cool. She accepts foreigners the way they are, never tries to change anybody, never expects them to keep working and make more money and do this and support my family. And she understands that, foreigners are going to be foreigners. And when I told her, hey, I'm going to the bar this week, or I'm going to play basketball, she's like, no problem, because she knew how I was before I got married, and she still married me. So as long as I don't change my lifestyle and change who I am after the marriage, it's all good.
Can you introduce yourself in Mandarin?
我的名字叫 Alex， 我来自中山大概22年。我结了婚，我老婆也是非常好的。我女儿也现在13岁，是初一的学生。我生活在中山真的非常好，跟朋友打球、去玩，见过你啊，在酒吧那里。So， 我觉得我生活真的很开心。
Thank you so much, Alex.
Brother.
Thank you.
No problem.
I'm Kerry Hopkins. I live here in Hainan Island. I actually came to China in 2012 for developing bicycles and electric bikes. And since then, I've traveled all over the world. In 2019, developed our own trading company. And last year, we launched our Exile or Sheila Adventure Products, which is bags.
So how many countries have you been traveling to?
I've done about 32 different countries.
What makes China so special for you to stay here?
One, my family is here, so my beautiful wife and daughter are over there next to the bar.
What's it like married to a Chinese wife?
Oh, it has its challenges, but actually she is wonderful. She has been a wonderful mother, a wonderful spouse, very caring. Having the support from her to actually go with business is probably the biggest thing you could do. And she does more just support, even like emotional support to start businesses than anybody else I know of. So,
She's like a partner of life.
yeah, partner in life and partner in business.
What are some culture shocks you experienced the most, and how do you guys met?
Actually, I met her. She approached me when we were she worked as a manager at a hotel. So we started talking then. And actually, I wanted to go on a date with her and all that stuff. But she's like, no, you stay at our hotel. I'm not going to go on a date with you. So I said, fine, I'd not stay at the hotel anymore. I'm going to go rent an apartment. Then we could go on a date. And then from then, we've been in a relationship.
That's cool, man.
So it was kind of like, you know what, I knew this woman was special, and it's like, you know what, fine, I will not stay at this beautiful 5-star hotel anymore. I will go rent an apartment because I want to, you know, have a relationship.
What are some culture shocks you experienced? Like maybe interesting. Just listening.
You know, there is its culture shocks. Some of the things I say, you know, and I probably, you know, different sort of words, she thinks is something else, so it's more communications sometimes. Her English is really good, but some things she has challenge with, and you know, I don't know the words in Chinese, so I think language has been the hardest part. But we don't really have a lot of fights. Maybe a little arguments, but fights we never do.
I guess it has to do with like the language barrier, because like when you look up an English word, it actually means different in English, but it means like it doesn't
Completely
translate.
different in Chinese.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, that's been probably the hardest part, is the language barrier. You know, some things like hot waters and stuff like that, I don't really understand, because to me, got to be ice cold. You know, it's like, well, you drank this cold water, so now you're going to get sick, and those sort of things I just don't worry about anymore.
My name's Benny, and I come from the UK. I've been teaching in China now for 15 years.
What are some advice for married Chinese women?
Okay, well, this is my second Chinese wife now. The first Chinese wife that I married, lovely girl, but I think she used me as an excuse to escape from home, because her parents were not going to let her move out of home until she had a husband. I took her to England, and I took her to Thailand, and then I think she decided that traveling was more interesting than living in China with her new husband, so she used to go traveling and I would just send her money. She wanted to get a diving qualification, so she went to the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and she spent more time on holiday than she did at home. So when she came home from her final holiday, I just said, you know, look, honey, it's you know, I didn't marry a wife for you to be in a foreign country all the time. This wife, we have been together since 2019, so 5 years together. She's a keeper, I have to say that.
What do you mean keeper?
A keeper is, so when we say that somebody is a keeper, so maybe when you are young and you meet a girl and you think, she's good fun, but she's crazy, so I will have some fun with this girl, but she's not a keeper.
Someone to keep married with is a keeper.
But when you find a girl who's a keeper, that means that, you know, she's good, reliable, perhaps not the wildest girl at the party, but she has the good qualities of a wife.
Is it easy to date a Chinese girl like who has like a standard English level?
When I met my wife, her English was not very good. When we first got together, we would communicate in Chinese, and my Chinese is poor, despite being here for a long time, because I keep moving to different locations, and wherever you move, you find that the Chinese is different. I don't think someone from Shandong or Hebei could understand some of the people in Hainan, but I think it varies. Again, you know, it's China is such a big place, and you can't compare somewhere like Shanghai or Beijing with, you know, somewhere like Haikou.
如果你们未来有了小孩，你会让小孩在中国长大，还是在其他国家？
他在我身边长大。
He's stressed out with the educational system over here, so we're going to see how it works out.
Yeah, we're sending her to public school, but she also does a lot of online schooling training, so That way she gets to learn both sides.
So thank you guys for watching. For the next video, I am going to ask them like what's it like raising a mixed children and how they deal with like school stuff, education stuff, how they manage like different languages, school systems in China, like private school, public school, Chinese Gaokao, things like that. A little personal thoughts. I know a lot of people talk bad things about like old foreign man with a younger Chinese woman. Honestly, I think like love is love, and many people want different things in a relationship. Personally, I have no problem with this, and I think it's completely normal. Just like many younger guys are dating more mature women right now nowadays. Like it's 2024, guys just be open, I guess. I'm also filming a travel vlog, like a daily life basis, just whenever I'm doing interesting things. So I'm gonna do more than just interviews. Okay, if you guys like my video, then subscribe, comments, and see you guys later. Ciao. Oh, by the way, I'm currently in Hainan Island. It's a tropical island down in South China. Let's see what's gonna happen here. See you guys. Have a good day.